very warm welcome to Daily Dispatch, a show that gives you all the latest news and updates from the digital ecosystem. I'm Priya Sheth. Thank you very much for logging in. Time now to get you all the top news stories that we've been tracking for you this evening. Well, first up, industrial AI startup Tech Technologies has raised $12 million in a funding led by Axel Partners with significant participation from existing investor Elevation Capital. Now, Tech Technologies will be using this investment to enhance industrial productivity globally as well as strengthen its leadership in accelerating the digitization of the industrial sector. Moving on to the second headline of the day, education startup Quizzes has raised $31.5 million as part of its ongoing Series B round led by US investment firm Tiger Global Management. The fundraise comes just 3 months after Quizzes announced that it had raised about $12.5 million as part of its Series A round in March this year. Thrasher-style e-commerce player 10 Club has raised $40 million in funding. This funding round was co-led by Fireside Ventures and an international investor which is active in the space. The funding will primarily be used for expanding 10 Club's portfolio of brands, investing in building its technology stack, and for working capital purposes. Moving on to the final headline of the day, UK-based fintech platform Tide said that it will be investing 1,000 crore rupees in India as part of its expansion plans into the country slated for early 2022. As part of this, the fintech startup will create close to 1,000 jobs across areas including product development, software development, marketing, risk, as well as compliance and member support in the next 5 years.
All right, moving on to our second segment. I have with me someone who is helping sell pet supplies online. I have with me Rashi Narang from Heads Up for Tails. Thank you, Rashi, for joining us today. It's a very exciting space to be in. Pets are, I think, everybody's favorites. How has the business done over the last couple of months?
Thank you so much, first of all, Priya, for having me here. It definitely is a very exciting segment and something that's very close to my heart, and I'm sure to lots of people. Business has been good. We've seen a big rise in pet parents over the last year. I think the pandemic encouraged more people to bring pets home, given that they were home. And what we also saw was a deepening connect of people who already had pets because they had more time to spend with them. So we've seen those relationships evolve, and I think that's been really nice.
Right, you have a diverse mix of products available on your website. So which are the categories that are doing well, and are there specific breeds or pets that are seeing more traction in terms of supplies?
So Priya, basically our core top categories are pet food, pet treats, pet toys, and then also, of course, grooming supplies. So those are the ones that we see most people coming back for. And in terms of breeds, I think the most popular ones that I've seen in India are the Labradors, the Beagles, the Pugs, the Shih Tzus. But I'm also very happy to tell you that there's also been a big increase in people who are adopting our beautiful Indies, which are our Indian street dogs. And, that's really something that makes me very happy because they are amazing. They are very resilient breeds, great with families, and it's just nice to see that they are becoming part of families and going into our homes.
Right. I want to understand with regards to, diversification. Are you looking at expanding the kind of portfolio as far as supplies are concerned, or deepening categories per se? What's the strategy going forward?
Yes. So what we want to do, Priya, is we do have quite an extensive product portfolio already. We have more than 5,000 products. But what we want to do is be able to really reach more people with those products. We've got products across grooming, nutrition, wellness, lifestyle, literally across every life stage, which is right from puppy to adults to seniors for dogs and cats, which is quite an extensive portfolio. And what we really want to do in terms of strategy is go into new markets and also further develop the existing markets that we're in from an omni-channel perspective, both online and offline. So that's really what we're setting out to do. We just opened our 41st store, and we really want to be able to reach new people who and be able to also, the reason why we want to do stores is that we want people to come in to be able to discover the products. These are India first products that the customer hasn't seen before. We want to be able to help them solve those problems and then of course pick products that are relevant and the right products for their pets.
What about the kind of fundraise activity? Like I believe in 2019, you all did some fundraising activity. Are you all looking at more funds, more diversification? Because I do understand that you are looking at expanding your offline presence as well. So that will require investment. So what kind of plan are you working with?
Yes, we have raised 13 million till date, and I think that we do want to raise another round soon. So we're in talks with a couple of people, and we hope to conclude something in the next couple of months.
I want to understand on the fund utilization front, what would be the fund utilization at this point in time? If you could give us a ballpark as to where these funds would be invested, because you did mention that you're setting up more offline stores. So give us some sense on that.
For us, Priya, a lot of time first went into building out the product portfolio. But now that we have a pretty solid one, I think what we're really focusing on are the back end. So we've been putting a lot of focus and investment into warehousing, logistics, building up that support, and then also are building up our internal team. Really looking for world class people to come join us to build a category which hasn't been built out in the country before, and that requires a lot of grit. It really needs people who are not just passionate but like technically amazing at what they do. So a lot of our funding will also go into hiring a world class team. And in addition to that, a lot of focus has been going and will continue to go over the next 1 or 2 years into building out the online piece. We've seen, of course, a big traction there, especially in the last year when people are afraid to step out. And so that's something, where we really want to be able to leverage technology and build something that truly gives customers an amazing experience online. Also spending money on building out, content pieces, education pieces that add value, to pet parents' lives. So these are some of the big pieces that we're focusing on from a, investment and money perspective.
In terms of revenue, what kind of revenues do you have at this point in time, and what kind of revenue targets do you have by the end of FY22?
Priya, right now we're at about 10 crores a month, and we're hoping to scale that significantly by the end of 2022 once we're able to put a lot of these pieces together.
I wanted to understand on the global front, are you looking at taking heads up with your internationally? What kind of global expansion plans do you have at this point in time?
We have really big dreams, and we know that a lot of the product that we built out is perfectly suited for the overall global market. But we want to capture India first, get the India piece correct. We already have small presence in the US and in Singapore, but really the key focus right now is India, just building out that piece really really solidly and then looking outside.
All right, Rashi, thank you very much for your time, and thank you so much for being a part of the Daily Dispatch. Thanks.
Thank you, Priya. Thanks a lot.
Well, time now to wrap up this edition of the Daily Dispatch. I'll catch you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Goodbye and stay safe.